guys, welcome to the video. Today I want to talk about the identity crisis that occurs when we're in a transformational period of our self-development. The internal beliefs that we developed when we were young and the patterns of behavior and thought that came about as a consequence of this are the foundation of our identity. Even when we go through life and have new experiences, learn new lessons, and encounter new things, these sort of just form a top layer on these internal beliefs and fundamental patterns that we developed as a child. What this means is that you have probably gone through most of your life with a foundation that was based on your childhood. New things were incorporated into this foundation, but the foundation dictated the way in which they were incorporated into your life. Now, there's a point where we become self-aware of these internal beliefs and these patterns of behavior and thought. There's a point where we can analyze them and assess them and make conclusions on what is serving us and what isn't. This is the intellectualization part of the process, but what comes next when we want to transform and change ourselves for the better is embodiment. Embodiment is the next step after intellectualization. The difficulty with embodiment is that your entire nervous system and your brain have developed based on this foundation of internal beliefs and patterns of behavior from when you were a child. So even when we intellectually understand the way in which we must transform, the body does not yet understand. The majority of your inclination towards certain things and your avoidance of other things and what triggers happiness and desire in you and what triggers fear in you is biologically based, is neurologically based. Your body has learnt to give you certain chemical signals, certain responses, and drive you in certain directions based on the core identity foundation that we discussed earlier. As a result, when you begin to embody what you have intellectualized, there is a core destabilization of the identity. Your physical and emotional reactions to the things you're implementing in your life are going to be at a mismatch during this transformational era. What this triggers is a resistance phase. All of your old beliefs and all of your old patterns are going to amplify tenfold. Your body and your brain will be screaming at you to go back to what is comfortable and familiar. The stabilization of this foundation of your identity can lead to periods in your life of existential crisis. It can feel like you don't recognize yourself anymore. It can feel like your life doesn't feel real. It can feel like you don't know whether you are actually losing your mind or transforming into something better. Most people reach this resistance phase and they feel this heightened resistance and they give up. They go back to old patterns and familiar ways of thinking and familiar beliefs. What you need to understand is that all of this noise, all of this resistance is being triggered by something. What it's being triggered by is motion, your movement into transforming yourself. If you look at it like a scared child throwing a tantrum because things have changed, you can start to understand that the noise does not mean stop. The noise means movement, and movement is what you want. Again, all of these are symptoms of the transformation. They are coming up in response to your motion in transforming yourself. It is helpful to think about this as a metaphorical death. It is the death of the old internal beliefs and the old patterns and thoughts that were no longer serving you. Death is a process. Dying is a process, and it can often be a very hard and painful one. So you need to approach it with empathy, but also resilience and endurance of this death process. In line with this metaphorical death, I want to show you the death card in tarot to give you a symbology with which to understand this process. This artwork is not based on the traditional tarot deck. However, it is very symbolic and significant to this transformational era in your life. I want you to notice the dying tree in the background of this card. And then I want you to notice the new tree blossoming with the Lady of Death tending to it. I want you to think about all of your old patterns, all of your old beliefs, all of your old thought systems that were no longer serving you as the dead tree. I want you to think of the new things that you are seeking to embody in yourself as the blossoming tree. I want you to envision all of your old beliefs, all of your old patterns that were no longer serving you as the ashes of this dead tree, fertilizing the blossoming tree. What this does is eliminate the fear associated with this metaphorical death. It puts into perspective that you are not losing anything. Rather, the foundation that is currently dying is fertilizing the blossoming tree, meaning it is a core component of the blossoming tree. You are not losing anything of yourself, but it is going through a process of death to fertilize the new. You notice the sun in the background of this card? That is both able to be interpreted as a sunrise and a sunset. Evidences the cyclic nature of all things. This eliminates the concept of linearity and loss or gain. The fact that this could be a sunrise or a sunset is showing you that you are not losing any part of you. You are feeding back into yourself an emotion that is transforming you into a higher version of yourself. So we've established that this period of transformation is a very difficult period marked by resistance. But we have to ask, what is on the other side of this? What is on the other side of this is embodiment, complete embodiment of the new beliefs and behaviors and thought patterns you're seeking to bring into your life. The resistance ends. The resistance ends and the ashes of this fertilize your bloom, and you are so close to blooming. That tree that you have been watering is so close to blooming. Embodiment of these new beliefs, of these new core structures of our identity is beautiful, and it comes with such an ease because it is fully embodied. There is no longer any polarization left that was a marker of the death process. So what I want to say to you, if you are experiencing this in your life right now, is to keep going. This period of resistance is proof that you are moving. Contextualize this with the things that I've spoken about, and you will start to get so excited to see what's on the other side of this transformation. I want you to remember above all else that you are so capable. You are capable of this transformation, and it wouldn't be happening unless you were ready, unless it was time. Have so much faith in yourself, have so much trust in yourself, have so much faith and trust in the universe working through you. And I promise what you will find on the other side is exactly what you knew you could always be. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Subscribe for more content on self-love, self-growth, and self-development, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.